Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to the Monday Show. Monday Show 52. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, this has been the longest Monday in recent memory, or at least that's how it feels to me. What about you?
Yeah, it definitely feels like a long Monday. It seems like actually a long Monday, but a quick. I was just telling somebody we're almost out of August, Wes. Like we're getting into fall. Summer's almost over. Jim Hall can get back into VR because it's the heat is going to be gone. But that means winter's coming. And as much as people bitch about the heat, what are they going to bitch about now, Wes?
They're going to bitch about a lot of things,
Yeah,
man.
and the
There's
cold.
going to be a lot to bitch about.
Well, that's true. That's true. But
I mean,
yeah, usually everybody goes from complaining about the heat to complaining about the cold, and
yeah.
it's crazy.
Well, people just they enjoy to complain. I think if everything was perfect, people would be miserable.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Anyway, what a show! You know, a long time coming. Monday Show 52, but we have got a banger lined up today, don't we?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Actually, and what's funny is, just like we were saying earlier, in the Discord together, that it seems like every time we delay, there's something comes out in the news that we're literally saying, "Oh my God, I'm glad we waited." I think I call it providence. You can call it what you want. And Mepper, don't worry, there will be another 20 showing up any minute now. Usually the Monday show it creeps up, right?
Yeah, that's generally how it goes. You know, people have to eat their dinner, put their childrens to bed, and then come enjoy some of the Monday Show.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, what you're saying is absolutely true, and it's true again of this episode. You know, uh, our topic today is a good one. We're going to look at all of the signs that it's happening, Roots. It's not just something that's happening in the future, this move into the next generation. We're actually starting to move now. We're starting to see things take shape. And it's funny because a lot of the things that was going to speculate about and predict on yesterday's Monday show actually ended up coming to fruition today. So, now it's going to be reported as news, but it's good to know that things are taking shape precisely as I thought they would.
So what you're saying is by delaying, Nostradamus Wes or Westradamus didn't get his chance to give his predictions, and now nobody knows. Everybody's going to think you just went with a bandwagon, even though you were saying you had this already yesterday. It's crazy. It's the news is, like you said, it's picked up pace pretty quickly with a lot of big players. And I don't know. I'm excited.
And it's not going to slow down at all. It's going to continue to accelerate through the end of the year. We have so much left in such a short amount of time. We've got new consoles coming. We've got new VR hardware coming. We've got new PC hardware coming. Dude, we have all these games coming. And we've got, what, 4 months left of the year?
Yeah, I need to get a second job, Wes. I think because I there's all this hardware. I'm looking at the 3080. I got the PlayStation 5. I want to get one of these new headsets, and something tells me I can only get one of them, and that's a scary thought, at least for now. But that's just too much.
Yeah, man, for sure. Especially if you're planning on going current gen on your graphics card. You might have to go work the street corner to afford that thing.
Yeah, well, it might take a while. But yeah, no, I definitely want to do something. I'm gonna do something to get it because I'm gonna admit it, Wes. I'm a little. I felt a little envy creeping in today as I was going through the Discord, and I saw was it Shiny Robot? I think his new Yaw machine is that his?
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's him.
and I looked it up. I thought, oh, I can get one. And then I instantly said, oh shit, dude, you can't get one. $1,500, Wes. I think that's the base price. So, but that
Yep.
thing looks so cool, and I just picture myself in No Limits, or better yet, well, I don't know how that would work, but how do you play grip? That'd be pretty cool if you could do that as well. But I don't know. It just looks so cool. And Shiny Robot, enjoy your yaw. Know that Roots is watching your picture there of your kid in there, and I'm just it's seething inside. Maybe not, but
Well, Scion VR in the chat here says graphics card is always priority. I agree to an extent, but when you're talking about NVIDIA and their HTC esque Marketing strategy. Um, I'm going to be honest, man. I'd buy a y'all VR before I bought a 3090 at $1,500. They can shove it, man. As long as people keep paying these prices, guess what they're going to keep doing? They're going to
Yeah.
keep on jacking it up. So, yeah, I will be abstaining if that's the price. I think, $1,000 is fair. I think 1,200 is kind of robbery. I think 14 and 1,500 is just ridiculous. And I think that, the fact that people aren't out with their pitchforks right now just means that people are going to smile and take it.
Dude, people are taking everything these days, man. They're definitely not gonna get. They're not going. That's not where they're gonna give on that card. What's funny is, I'm kind of in the same boat that you guys were saying the same time with last time with the 2080s. I'm thinking, do I really need to upgrade? I want to upgrade, but I don't have to upgrade. So I might wait a little bit as well. But to be fair, the $1,500 price tag is like the Titan version, right? That's like the best of the best. So you could get a 3080 Ti for probably like 12 or something, or whatever.
Dude, that's all marketing. The whole reason that the Titan was ever even introduced was so that someone can have something to compare their card against and say, "See, I'm not paying that much because look at the Titan, right?"
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm not buying that, dude. There's no way that this thing costs 25% of what they're charging to make it. So they can stick it, man. I'll stick with my 1080 Ti. When it stops working, I will pick up a secondhand 2080 Ti. I will never in my life pay $1,500 for a graphics card. And I'll tell you what just goes to show their shenanigans here. It's as plain as day. And the fact of the matter is, they don't want people to buy 3090s. Okay, they don't expect people to buy 3090s. They expect them to buy 3070s and 3080s because you can see it in the pricing.
Mm.
The pricing goes 3060, $400, 3070, $600, 3080, $800. But to go from a 3080 to a 3090, that is another $600 jump. So they go in $200 increments,
Mm.
and then there's a $600 jump at the end. And the whole reason for that is to say, hey, look at my 3080 here for $800. It's only 20% less performance than the 3090, and that's a $1,500 card. So people will gladly bend over and take the $800 second best thing, right?
Well,
Yeah,
800
not
bucks
this
isn't too
guy.
bad though. What? So I don't know. So I don't know if I was gonna get one. $800. That's about what I paid for the 2080. So
Yeah, and that was kind of crazy. The standard used to be $500 to $600, and what they would do when they came out with a new card, that card would occupy the $500 to $600 spot, and then every other card under that would drop in price. They stopped doing that with the 10 series. With the 10 series, they've just started this never-ending escalation of prices, and I will not be a party to it.
well, if you think about it though, I mean, to be fair, like you said, the 3060 is going to be $400. What's that going to do to like the 2080s, the just everything, even just the generics, like the bare minimum card is getting really fucking high. Like people are getting into gaming now. They don't have to slum it like we did. If you didn't have money back in the day, you had shit. Now you come in, you got $200, you can actually get a decent card. $400, you can get a really good card, especially if it's not in the 3080 or 2080 series. So I guess it kind of evens out, but I don't know. I get what you're saying. It does seem kind of crazy that it's almost a double jump to get to that next tier, the 3090 tier. I wouldn't go
Yeah.
that tier. I might go the 3080 tier, but maybe I sell my card for 550, $600, and then I pay 200 more bucks and or bucks, dollars, and I get the next card, So I don't know.
So they count on us doing these mental gymnastics to justify it, and wait till the press conference, man. They're going to have us all frothing at the mouth and have everyone convinced that it's a deal. It's worth it. It's worth all this money. But I'll tell you what, the way that people likes to burn Oculus at the stake, because
Mhm.
everyone knows that PCVR is doomed. There's no future in it. It's never going to be mainstream. It's not Oculus's fault, right? Oculus knows what we all don't want to admit, and that is PCVR will never be a mainstream thing because of companies like Nvidia making the cost of gaming PCs so expensive. And Oculus knows that. They know that it doesn't matter what they do. They could have the best headset in the world, give them away for free, and still common people aren't going to be able to afford it because of companies like Nvidia making it so that people have to pay $2,000 to get in at the ground floor. So if you wonder why Oculus doesn't seem to care so much about PCVR, thank Nvidia, because it's mostly their fault.
Yeah, well, it's definitely one way to look at it. I definitely agree with your anger and frustration, and I say fuck them. I'm gonna tear out my card right now and smash it. You ready? Oh shit,
I'm
the
not going to do
stream.
that, man. I love my 1080 Ti, but I had to jump through some hoops to get that, man. I had to buy one and sell it for profit just to get mine at a price I could go to sleep at night, you know?
Yeah, well, and that's what I would do with the 3080, and that's what I will do is just sell that one at like for like 550 or something, and then get the 3080, and feel like I justified it, because you're future proofing. You're also renewing. You're getting something new and shiny and bragging rights. Wes, you can't have slum it with the 2080 when the 3080's out there. That's crazy.
See, this is funny because this is what we all say, right? We all say we're future proofing. But how long have you had your card, Roots? You future proof with your last card, didn't you? How long
Yeah,
have you had it?
well, okay, but if you look at it this way, future proofing, it works. The 1070 I had forever, dude. This one I've only had what, a year, almost 2 years, is it? But if you think of,
I've had mine about 2 years.
okay, so maybe it's been a year and a half or whatever it is. But if, like I said, if I can sell it and I can say $600 or $500, 550, and I buy it for 800, it's, in a sense, it is future proofing. I know you disagree with this theory unless it's headsets that you're not using. But it's less money out of my pocket to get the next step up. And I might do it. I might just stick with the 2080. I actually do have some mental gymnastics to go through in my head for the next
Yeah.
few weeks, probably, right?
Yeah, it's less money out of your pocket because you never put it in your pocket. Because you sell your graphics card and you have that money in your hand, but we'll forget about that because it didn't go in the pocket, right?
No, it doesn't go in your pocket. It just subsidizes.
Okay.
Makes it cheaper. Jim Hall has a good point. He says if GPUs were only for gamers, they would remain cheaper. But now GPUs are being used for everything. And
Yeah, man, that was when it all went off the rails, wasn't it? The crypto boom.
yeah, and there's just a
Be-
lot of things.
Because it was during that crypto boom and that shortage that Nvidia really saw how much we were willing to pay. Like they never charged that much before because they didn't know that we were ready to go. And I mean, people were paying 12 and 13, sometimes $1,400 to get a 1080 Ti during that period. And when they saw that, it was over, son. Never again will we see $600 and $700 for the top tier cards. Not until fingers crossed. Maybe AMD one day will provide some sort of competition for them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Once the AMD does it, gets it a little bit better, competition wise. So people can say what they want. It's just there's too many conflicts with drivers and that type of stuff, especially video card wise. And I'm sure they're great, and I'm not knocking them. Anybody that uses AMD, fantastic. I'm gonna stick with Nvidia and get raped, like Wes said, just because I know it's the best out there right now, and I'm unfortunately I have to pay for the best. But I don't know, and the games aren't getting any better, Wes, and we're wanting to do that, like some of what we're going to be talking about later. One of the topics we're going to be talking about, I mean, it can benefit from that new card, right? If you want to play certain things in VR, things are getting more intense, and I don't think that's going to let up. So I think we're going to continue to advance, or you're going to get left behind and not be able to do certain things. Not with your 1080 Ti, obviously. I think it'll still be okay, but pretty much anything lower than that is starting to become obsolete. So
yeah, I'm all for advancement of the technology. That don't get me wrong. I'm all for generational leaps. That's what we're going to be talking about today, and that's why I'm so excited because I can see the generational leaps. What I'm not for is profiteering. And I've had a deep burning hatred for HTC for a few years for basically the same
Mm.
thing that Nvidia is doing right now. So I'm going to continue to stick with Nvidia. I'm going to stick with the one that's in there right there until I start to have some real issues. And at that point, if the rumors are true and the prices go the way that they look like they're going to go, I'll probably buy a 20 series card, secondhand from somebody.
Hey, I got one when I'm buying my 3080.
Hey, cut me a deal, bro. I might buy it from you.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, we're going to talk more. We're going to talk more about hardware. There's a lot more of that to come. But first, Roots, first, we've been working on these backlogs, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, go
No, I
ahead.
was just gonna say I liked both of the games I played this week too. So
Yeah, dude, a lot of good games this week. A lot of good, like the last couple of weeks, I've pretty much loved just about everything I've played, which is always great. But this first one that we're going to talk about here, my backlog choice for the week, something that I've had for some time now. And, at the time, it was a key, a review key that I requested, but at the time there was a lot of stuff out and it kind of, got put on the back shelf for a little while, the back burner, and I kind of forgot about it. And the other day I was thinking, I'd like to shoot something. Every now and then you just want to shoot something, right?
yeah.
And I wanted something new, and I was looking through my Oculus Quest catalog, and then I saw this game, and I remembered, oh yeah, I need to play this. And it just so happens, Roots, like the after I decided that this was going to be my backlog game this week, we had all sorts of news come out about this game. So I actually clipped that news from yesterday's show and just carried it over today. And we'll talk about those announcements in just a little bit. But I'm talking about Death Horizon Reloaded. You know, I you know I requested this key a while after this game was released on Oculus Quest because it got a big graphical overhaul. And I know some of you might remember me reporting that on the Virtual Strangers show that they overhauled the graphics, added in some bosses and things. And at that time, I requested this key and I got it, but I never really expected much out of it. This game started as an Oculus Go Gear VR game, a 3DOV game, and it was brought into Oculus Quest, and some of those games are really good, but most of the time they're kind of limited in a lot of ways. So I was pleasantly surprised, Roots, when I went into this game and just had a blast. It looked really good. It looked like a PlayStation VR game, to be quite honest. I've seen worse looking games on PSVR, and the gameplay was solid.
Oh, sweet. Well, it's funny. I just thought it was I saw the news. Okay, I saw what you put in your news thing that you're going to talk about in a little bit, and I forgot this was one of your games because I just thought we were talking about a game. So what are the odds that the news drops right after you're picking this game to play? Because you did already pick it, and so is this a co-op game or is this just? I'm assuming it's single, but it looks pretty cool, right? And that some of the things they're adding now looks like they're still working on it. So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, to put it bluntly, and first of all, I guess first, right off the top, thank you to Dream Dev Studio for providing me with review access to this game. And thank you for your patience because I've had this key for probably 2 months and haven't even talked about it. But Roots, the bottom line here with this game is if you enjoy playing a game like Arizona Sunshine, you're going to enjoy this. It's not the most complex game in the world. It's a zombie shoot 'em up, right? You're progressing through maps, you're looking for weapons and ammunition and picking it up, and you're fighting enemies. But the good thing about this, as opposed to say Arizona Sunshine, is it isn't just your classic zombies. There are some of them have special abilities. They attack you with projectiles. Some of them are very fast. Some of them are slow. I've even come across some dogs, Roots, some like evil dogs. And let me tell you, those things scared the crap out of me. They're so loud, and you can hear them before you see them. And whenever they start barking, I mean, 2 or 3 times, it had me jump out of my seat because it was so startling.
Nice. So you said this was a gear game or a 3DoF, right?
Originally, this is
Originally?
actually a Quest version now. It's full 6 DOF.
No, so it makes me wonder, like the 3DoF, if it was like were you using a joystick, I guess, or a controller? Like, because
No
this looks
clue.
really good with I mean, the hands are climbing. You're like, for a game that's 3DoF put into VR, it looks really good. I would have never guessed it was a 3DoF game. It looks like they did a really good job of the port over. So how far
Yeah,
did you get? Is it how many levels are there?
I don't. I'm not sure. I think I just went into level 5, and I've progressed 41%. So I got to imagine that there's 10 to 12 levels in it, probably.
Oh, cool. So, and I know, like you said, there was a lot of changes. They're changing things, right? I saw on the notes, or at least the additions that they just changed, right?
Yeah, well, what they're doing here, they laid out a roadmap basically, and as of right now, it's a single player campaign, right? But Q3, they're adding in co-op, so you can tackle
Hmm.
the campaign with a friend. At the end of the year, they're going to add some melee weapons and rebalance the gameplay to adjust for that. And they're also adding in a horde mode with new enemies, weapon upgrades, new player skins, and masks. Later on, they're going to add chapters to the campaign, but as of right now, it's unknown exactly when that's going to happen. But they laid out this whole roadmap to improve upon what I feel like is already a solid game. If I had to describe it, I would just say, imagine, imagine if you will, imagine the developers of Killing Floor Incursion. Imagine that those guys built Arizona Sunshine for Oculus Quest. And that's what you would get. It plays like Arizona Sunshine. It looks a little bit more like Killing Floor Incursion as far as the art style. And I've said it a million times. Shooting things in VR is something that's hard to get wrong, and it feels good. It feels good to play.
Q3 for co-op, and we're at the end of Q3, right? They better get this thing out quick, right?
We're at the end of Q2, going into
Ah, we're
Q3.
going into Q3. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So you got plenty of time. But so I got to get a Quest then if I want to co-op, but I can't because the new Quest isn't dropping yet, Wes. But I guarantee when they do drop the co-op, this game becomes so much more enticing for everybody that have quests. Man, there's not too many games where you can fight zombies or something like that in VR with a friend, right? Especially on the Quest. So I think that's
With a friend, I can think of two off the top of the head. Maybe three, but on Quest, this is the two that I know of.
yeah. So yeah, no, it's cool. It looks really good, and no plans to come to measly old PC, right? So Roots can try it.
Not that I've heard of. And to be honest, I mean, if he's on Quest, I mean, I don't know. It might be worth his time to put it into PC. But this is the type of game. I mean, people who bring Quest games into PC, they don't generally get much appreciation. They generally just get criticism.
Mm.
Like, man, for some reason, their games don't look very charming. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Gorillas of the world. Well, Phil Yarn says Dead Effect 2 in VR on PC though, and I agree. That's really good. And I saw your comments in Discord today, Phil, about that, and I agree, man. That's a solid campaign. It's got upgrading weapons and all sorts of things, and the story's really good. And you can play it with three or four people. I think we've even played some, Wes, right? Wasn't that we played some of that? I know I've
Was
played with.
not with me.
Okay,
No, I've never played that game.
oh shit, dude, you need to play it then. We need to play it. I think you'd like it. It's pretty cool. I think I played it with Alex then. I know I've played it with a couple of different people, and it's pretty good. It's a
Yeah.
legit game, and it's usually really cheap on sale all the time. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's my type of thing, right? So
hmm?
this one has money show written all over it, don't it?
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I think you'd like it because there's a cool story. It just there's a different feel to it, man. And I didn't know you've never played it. I'm gonna start bugging the crap out of you until we try it. So.
Well, you want to twist my arm too hard to play a zombie shooter. This is the type of thing I like to do. I like to just zone out, right, and blow some things head off every now and then. And if you're like me and you have an Oculus Quest, you've already played through Arizona Sunshine 5, 6, 7 times, and you're just bored to death with it. I recommend trying out Death Horizon Reloaded. It's again, it's not the most complex game. You're just moving through the environments and dealing with hordes of zombies. There's a decent selection of weapons. Not a large arsenal or anything. You do kind of have to choose what you take and what you leave, because you can only take 2 handguns and 1 larger gun, and anything else you have to leave behind. But the good thing is, in between levels, you come into these safe rooms, and all of the weapons are normally waiting in the safe room. So, say you throw down your shotgun and pick up the rifle, and then you end up finding a bunch more shotgun ammo, and you want to use it again. All you got to do is make it to the end of the level, and you'll open up a locker, and right there you'll find the shotgun.
That's kind of cool, actually. What was that one game that Anthony always raved about, the time one, or with the pillars and the guns or whatever? And that was one of the things that he said that he liked about it, is it kind of makes you have to choose. Like, this is a little bit more harsh. You get to the beginning level, you choose your 2 guns and your big gun. That's it, man. You need to choose the right ones. And maybe you fail and you pick a different weapon. So I don't know. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of tough too sometimes, because you want to. I really like using the shotgun. It feels good at close range to use it, but you really need to have that rifle to shoot long distance, because there's this one zombie that's dressed up in a nurse's uniform, and she fires these big glowing green projectiles from like hundreds of feet away at you. And really, the only quick, effective way to take care of those nurse zombies is with the rifle.
Okay, so there's like certain enemies you have to kill a certain way. It's kind of like
I mean, you could probably kill them with a pistol, but it's gonna be a lot more difficult, because the pistol's not as accurate over a long range.
I gotcha. Now I think you're right, man. Any game that's just shooting is fun. This looks pretty good. Do you have a cost on it? What's the cost on this?
I think it's $20. Give me a half a second here, and I can tell you. They with it being a Quest game, obviously you make some concessions when it comes to the way it looks, but the dev here knows what he's doing. What it lacks in textures, it makes up for with lighting and bloom. Me, there's 2 things I'm a sucker for in VR. One of them is particle effects, and the other one is bloom, right? Glowing things. It always looks so good in VR. But the dev is really smart, because these zombies, they don't look like any other zombies you've ever seen. They all have these glowing green eyes, and when you shoot them, and like you hit them with a headshot and their head blasts open, the blood is glowing red. It's not just like normal red blood. It's like this glowing, cool looking stuff. And I don't know if it looked like that before the update, but certainly now, this guy, I mean, he knows all the tricks, right? How to make a game look good on a very limited machine. So, again, kudos to him.
Yeah, it's looks really good.
All right, I've got my Oculus Quest store up here. I'll tell you exactly how much this thing costs. I think it's $20. $15. It's normally $20 on sale. How often does that happen, Roots? The Oculus Quest title's on sale. This one actually is on sale today, 25% off, $15. Again, if you're the type of person who enjoys Arizona Sunshine, but you've already played it out, check out Death Horizon, and $15. I say it's worth it all day long.
Yeah, for sure.
It is apparently a daily deal though. 4.5 hours remain. So if you're watching this on Wednesday, too late, bro. You got to pay the full price.
Yeah, well, you got to get it now. And that's
what timing, Roots. Here's just another example of the perfect timing of this week's Monday show.
You know me, I call it God's timing. It's perfect timing. It's like we do something and then all of a sudden we find out, oh, that's on sale at the same time. It's just cool. I like it. But yeah, so I definitely wish I had this an Oculus Quest to play it with you. But you know, maybe the new one will drop and then I'll get to play it with you when this comes out in Q3.
So what do you say, chat? What do you think happens first, chat? The co-op mode drops for Death Horizon, again slated for Q3, or Ruuts owns an Oculus Quest, or at least some version of an Oculus Quest.
I bet that it's going to drop first because PlayStation's still around the corner. And if I had to choose between the two, I think I'm going to lean PlayStation 5 versus Quest, just because I'm already in VR and I don't have PlayStation right now. And it's just so good, right? And Mamefan says he has dreams and he forgot. Or did you mean real dreams? Or are you talking about dreams on the PlayStation?
Yeah, that's a good question, right? How does he mean that?
Yeah.
We have to read up here a little bit to find out. But yeah, I've been thinking about going back in and checking out some dreams because I want to go back and play some more Iron Man now that they've patched it up. I want to check it out. And since we're in PSVR anyway, we might as well jump in the dreams for a little bit, right?
Yeah, you need to win that game. Finish Iron Man. Finish it. Crush it.
Oh, sure. We'll just take a couple weeks off of the show here, and I can just play games to my heart's content, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, you do have time coming off soon for work, right?
That is true, and I've got some good plans to make use of that time. We can talk about that off air later, but I got ideas, bro. Got ideas.
Yeah. Well, Slaybase says get both Quest and PS5. That sounds good. Mamefan says it's PSVR Dreams to clarify, and Ray Pope doubts he can talk his missus into getting another headset. Well, there's a good option for that. Don't get the headset, get the yaw accessory, and then you can like ride around on a roller coaster like Ruuts wants to. And Shiny Robot is doing it right now.
My wife shot that down so quick. I showed her that video that Shiny put on the Discord today, and as soon as I started playing it, she's like, "Nope, you're not getting it." I was like, "What?"
Did you tell her that you've got carte blanche? Like you have some kind of, you could use your card for your hardware.
Well, here's the thing, dude. I'm already slated to spend $1,100 on stuff already, and that's if I don't get the new Quest. So I'm probably going to end up between $1,200 and $1,500 worth of brand new tech between now and Christmas. And that's not to mention games. That's not to mention, the new PlayStation camera and maybe an extra controller. You know what I'm saying, bro? That ship has sailed.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna ask Santa for the yaw. That's what I'm gonna do, and we're just gonna see if it comes.
And really, her telling me no to that had nothing to do with money. It was
space.
Her words are, if you can go right over there and ride roller coasters in that thing, you'll never do anything else. You'll never go anywhere ever again. And I said, you're right. It's probably absolutely correct.
Yeah, you're very diligent, though. You're out there doing your chores and stuff when Ruuts would be playing games. I'd be like trying to hide from my wife. That's why I'm divorced.
Yeah, well, not enough, man. The never-ending list, the honeydew list.
Well, like I said, if you don't do the honeydew list, you find yourself honey divorced, which is fine. It's actually not bad, but sometimes.
Right. All right. Anyway, Death Horizon Reloaded. For those of you out there who have an Oculus Quest, who like shooting things in the face, who like glowy green eyes and glowy red blood the way I do, you like climbing, you like finding guns, this is the game for you. And if you like playing with a friend, you're not going to have to wait too much longer. That's coming in Q3, and there's another host of updates coming all through the next year. So, Dream Dev Studios making it happen, Ruuts.
Nice. That's cool. I can't wait to try their game when I do have a Quest, and I can't wait to have. I have this feeling Yaw is just gonna send us each one just so we can talk about it. Just put it out there.
It's funny that's called yaw because that word yaw actually has a different meaning here in Kentucky where I live.
Oh yeah.
That means so. There you go. You learned something, Roots.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Well, I was just a little distracted there. I guess we went off for a second. I don't know if everybody saw us go off, but we're back on. So, but yeah, no. Y'all.
Y'all VR now. Like if
Yeah.
I were to say y'all VR, that would be like a command, like go play VR, you all.
Oh, yeah. And then your kids run out of the room and you're like trying to show them that video and you're like, no, get back here. Check out Yaw VR.
Mamefan says I laughed out loud that it's actually not that bad being divorced.
It's not.
I think we all laughed out loud at that.
Well, it's like when you see people arguing in a relationship, you're like, yeah, you don't have to deal with that.
You don't have to do that anymore, right?
Yeah. Has its downsides, but
Yeah, you know, it's like anything else, right? You take the good with the bad, huh?
yeah. Yeah, the facts of life.
Divorce is like a Rift S. I mean, it might not have headphones, but man, that picture, huh?
Yeah, it looks good, right?
Looks.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I guess that's enough talk about the marital problems. We should probably move on to our giveaway, Roots. People are waiting. They're at the edge of their seat. They want to know who is going to win this incredibly expensive VR game, Djinni and Thaco, Trial by Spire. But you know what, Roots? Surprise, surprise! I found out after we went off the air last week that it's actually not as expensive as we thought that it was.
Oh, really? So we were saying it's 35, right? So what's the cost then?
The cost is 25.
Oh shit.
You know, I talked to you know, after we got off the air, I saw the title on Viveport, not on Infinity, but for sale on the Viveport store, and I noticed it was $25, and it confused the crap out of me. So I went back to Steam to see, you know, if I could figure out why the Steam version would cost more, and it was $25 on Steam. And at this point, I think I'm crazy, right? So I take it to the developer, and I ask him, you know, what gives here, man? Am I going crazy, or did you drop the price already? And he told me that that it was a mistake on the Steam store. There was a mistake, and that they had overpriced it, and it's all corrected now. So Djinni and Thaco a little bit better of a deal than we initially thought.
Oh yeah, because that was the discussion we had off the air. It's like, well, this is a good game, but is it worth $35? Because that's usually we're trying to part of what we do with the show is to let you guys know whether something's worth the cost, at least in our opinion. And then when you told me that it's just now that it's $25, I'm telling you, you know, that it totally is worth $25 in my opinion, but
Yeah, absolutely. It's a $25 game all day long. It's just the quality of the production alone, and I'm not just talking about the look and the sound of it, which is, you know, outstanding, the gameplay as well, but I'm also talking about the you know, the voice acting, the humor, the commentary, you know, all of these different things make for a very high quality game.
yeah. Well, you know what I was thinking today, and I don't know if Mamefan's tried this. Mamefan, I don't know if you've tried this yet or not. But this is like right up his alley because it actually, you know, of course, all tower defense games or any type of game like this, it is a thinking person's game. It's very strategic, and it's like I don't know, man. Like as I was going through today with the different towers, like I went through first, and I got my ass owned right off the bat because I tried to go back to my old way of doing it, and my old way sucked, Wes. I found out real bad, and so I had to start over, and at least from the second level, and so I started that, and I took some tips from what you told me last time, and I started more towards their end instead of my end, and I worked my way, and I worked my magic, and I just crushed that level, dude. Well, not crushed it, but I passed it with one life left when that guy got into the tower, and I passed it to level 2, but I agree that what I think was one of the coolest things, and I haven't even seen any other levels besides the 2, is just the variety of different characters, because now they're introducing things in there that are fucked, man. Like that clock tower thing or whatever. That thing is almost invincible, dude.
Yeah, I
And
know, right?
yeah, and there's just so many different things, and then there's that bard, and he's playing the music, and it kind of scared me, Wes, because so far I've only seen soldiers. Because the way the bard works is he's playing his music, and everything in front of it they want to get the hell away from the music, so they start running. Well, somewhere I read that the giants, they're gonna send giants at me, Wes. Those slow, lumbering, badass giants are now gonna be running full force, and I don't know if I can handle it because I haven't mastered the magic, and I need to just branch out my spells because I haven't used anything but the sand time and the slam, and I need something else, bro. It's not working.
Yeah, I'll use I pretty much I let the sand spell go because you can build the time towers. So I didn't really use that spell all that much, but I use the Vesper beam,
Mm,
which is that fire beam you shoot from your hand, and the way you do that is you kind of throw a punch, and as you extend your arm, you click the trigger,
mm.
and it starts blasting out, and it blasts for I don't know 3 to 5 seconds, and it's long range, like as far as you can see, you can blast that beam.
I'm bitch, dude. I leveled that thing, but I didn't know how to do it, and so I just kept slamming the ground. See, that's the thing is like I went back to the beginning, like in the main menu, and you put your book down, and there's like certain spells, and it shows you how to do it. But that wasn't one of the spells there, and I was too lazy to go into the tutorial. And I figured, well, I can figure this out. And I tried all sorts of things. I was not figuring it out. But last time you gave me the hint that you have to build the towers for specific powers. I didn't know that the first time. I was trying to do moves I had no reason to be trying to do. I didn't have that ability yet, Wes. And even just the added strength in the ground slam, was huge, you know. So I need more time. I need more time in there. I'm getting better each time I play, but that's the extent of my gameplay. I'm slamming the ground. And then of course my towers. I got some pretty badass towers going, and they tear almost everything up. But I think I'm at like wave 10 or something, and that's when things started going downhill and just out of control.
Yeah, the way I ended up beating this one was by the time I got that far along, I had at least one tower in each section of the path, and after I built up all of my offensive towers, I put a time tower right next to it. So
Hmm.
I had time slowed on the entire path, front to back,
Oh wow.
and an upgraded offense tower, whole thing too, right front to back.
Okay.
So after I got that developed, I'm like you. I use that ground pound more than anything. It's the easiest one to do. And after you upgrade your mage tower, it actually does some pretty good damage too. So that's pretty much how I dealt with that. I slowed it down as much as I could, so that the towers had time to deal as much damage as they could.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a good strategy. I want to try that. I think having the time slow for the whole thing, especially since the second level, you start to run into those elves again, and they're so fast. By the time they get across the screen, I can't stop them. Um, Now, the main fan says he has not tried it. It's not really his thing. He played some Brass Tactics. I would say Brass Tactics and all of those games are totally different than what this is. This is more you just have that one tower to defend, and you're using different abilities. You got different enemies coming to try to stop them from getting to your tower. It's just different than all the other ones that I've played in that respect. And Slave Blaze says the same thing. It's one of his least favorite genres. I don't like tower defense outside of VR. This one is really cool. It's definitely
Yeah,
different.
I definitely I get where they're coming from. Tower defense not my thing either. And to be quite honest, I really wasn't all that interested in this game until I learned that Lloyd Kaufman was in it, and I'm happened to be a fan of his, so I wanted to check it out. But beyond that, I still probably wouldn't have played it if these developers weren't so cool to you and me, right?
Mhm.
And after they gave us review access, and they've been so cool and so helpful, I wanted to check it out, and I'm glad I did because it's not your basic tower defense, right? The gesture-based magic and the comedy make it closer to something that I would normally enjoy.
And it's just to me it's just cool, as you're, like, as you've got the 27, that's the different things you use to build your stuff, just getting different things, different towers, and experimenting. And especially on the second level, you have so many different nodes, and maybe you want to go more physical. There's just so many options. And like I said, as I was branching out and I was building these different towers, I just really saw how cool this game is. And then also, like you said, the comedy, when I heard them all I guess singing Kesha and dancing or whatever, it's well done, very AAA-esque, I guess, as far as graphics as well. So I definitely think
Yeah, man. You know what really impressed me on this level specifically is just like as you look out and you see the mountains and that sunset looks so realistic, didn't it?
yeah, absolutely. Especially that second level. As I was looking around, I was like, wow, this looks really good, right?
And I got to imagine as you progress through the game, it's just going to get better and better and better.
Yeah. Yeah, I got one thing to say to you, Jim Hall, with your last comment.
How dare you?
Oh, prefer to be a low-level grunt in games, not my. Okay.
It doesn't matter. If Jim Hall said it, I got to say something against it. He says, "Give me a gun and a sword." Well, yeah, I agree. That's true.
Yeah. Well, sure. But that's what the other games are for, right? We always ask for something a little bit different. Well, this is certainly that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, if you are a fan of tower defense games, you definitely have to check this out. And if you're curious, I think it's worth playing through. So I'm having fun with it, and I'm only on level 2. Have no idea how many worlds there are, and there is an actual story. And actually, I think it's I was thinking about this today, Wes, because I started calling it Djinni, right? But then in the beginning of that second level, the king calls it Djinni Thaco. And so I'm going to go with what the king says. I think it's Djinni.
It's actually I think it's Genie,
Yeah.
but King Crambone's supposed to be kind of a half-wit.
Oh,
So
I gotcha.
so I think that's kind of just part of the humor here.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely worth playing through. Hopefully somebody good wins this game. I don't want to see somebody I don't like. Well, I guess I like everybody. So
Yeah, honestly, I think that it's all regulars. There might have been maybe one newbie in there, but most of the entrants are uh, are regulars. So I guess it's time, right? We've said our piece on this game. It was kind of a maybe at $35. I think that it's a recommend from both of us at $25. High quality game, lots of fun to play. But for at least one of you, you're not going to have to pay that because we're going to give this game away right now. And the way we're going to choose is the way that we always choose. The entrants have been assigned a number. You all know what your numbers are because I replied to your YouTube comment with that number. And we're going to go to Google in real time now and go to a random number generator. And we're going to let that number generator pick our winner.
crossing fingers for you or whoever. I'm looking at every one of you.
All right, so random number generator. Random.org, true random number service. Well, we want to pick the true one, right? Roots?
Yeah, we need the true.
All right. Cookies. I don't care about your damn cookies. All right. True random number generator. Minimum 1, maximum 10. Boom. Are we ready, Roots? Can we get a drum roll? We need a drum roll sound effect for your little thing there.
I've got one downloaded. It's just not uploaded. I can do this.
Well, that's good enough. All right, so here we go. Generate number 3. Now we have to go to YouTube and actually find out who the hell number 3 was.
You know who you are.
Congratulations, number 3. We are sorry to number 1 and 2. And numbers 4 through 10, we are deeply, deeply sorry for you as well.
Right, oh, there we go. Jim Hall just gave us a drum roll. I do have that sound effect downloaded. I just have to find it.
All right, so we're going to go to Monday Show 51, a quality episode, by the way. And, all right, so.
Spry. Damn it, Spry. Go back in time. Hey, it's number 4. No, I'm just kidding.
Looks like Radio Runt. Number
oh my
3.
God.
Congratulations, Radio Runt.
He's hanging out with his in-laws right now.
Well, I guess he's disqualified then. Let's pick another winner. Oh, well, there we go. It won't be hard to award this key, will it? We shouldn't have too much trouble tracking down Radio Runt. He is a regular in our Discord, and for those of you out there who would like to become regulars in our Discord, you will find a link in the description below. Come on and join the community and join the conversation.
Yeah, Spry Guy says, do you have to be present to win? And that was not part of the agreement, especially for everybody that, well, I guess maybe we should have said you need to be here, but no.
No, man. We do this thing in the wee hours of the night.
Yeah, true.
I wouldn't expect people like in Europe. It's something like 3 a.m. right now. So
yeah, that's true. That would be very unfair to the Europeans. And we have a lot of people from there watching us. So
yeah, absolutely. So congratulations, Radio Runt. Hope you like it, buddy. Come on the Discord and let everybody know what you think. Let them know we're not just glad handing here. This really is a good game. It's a little overwhelming at first. Admittedly, there's a lot to learn here, but after you put it into practice, you start to figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, hell yeah. We say we should give Radio Runt Sea of Thieves instead. That's what Jim Hall said. That's not
I
what
think
he
you guys are going to
for.
start giving out Sea of Thieves to everybody, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we're definitely getting there, Wes.
Yeah, we're going to have to change our names to Flat Strangers or something.
Flat. We could say virtual/flat.
Right. We'll just be strangers. How about that?
The strangers. That's right.
The strangers. The ex-strangers, because we're not really strangers anymore, right?
Yeah, that's right. The bestie strangers.
Right. Anyway, that wasn't your only backlog game that you tackled this week, was it, Ruuts?
No, actually. And what's funny is they're kind of similar in a sense. I guess not similar, but they are. And what I wanted to do, which was Good Goliath. They're just both good games that you can go in and just focus on. And I made it to this pirate area, Wes, and I was very impressed. Now, I also had booger hands. Booger hands are gross. I think this is your video. Maybe it's not. Did you make a video? Maybe it's not your video, actually. But,
I can't remember. I've been meaning to. Honestly, I've been meaning to make a video of this game because I enjoy it so much.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And one of the things I found out right off the bat in this level is you can't fist bump those sharks. Like, they're not nice, Wes. I went to like hang out, fist bump them, and all of a sudden I had like 3 of them attached to my face, and I was like ripping them off, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? This is actually gets very crazy. And I have not beaten this pirate level because the amount of skill, like sometimes the throwing is so, you have to be so precise in what you're hitting, especially with those spinning platform things that are shooting. I don't know, man. It just gets crazy. There's so much going on in this game. And for such a simplistic game, I actually really had a lot of fun playing this game.
Yeah, that pirate level was probably more challenging than the level after it. It was those things that you're talking about, those cannon turrets. Those things are tough, aren't they?
Yeah, you know what I had the most trouble with, and I literally freaked out, Wes. Like, I don't freak out very much when I'm playing VR, but sometimes I get a little frustrated. And I got down to that one stupid fucking tooth on the middle thing, the last right one tooth. And I must have been throwing at it for like 5 minutes, missing, couldn't hit it and then I'm watching my life go a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower. And then you die, and then you got the marchers, and now you got to start over again. And that's one thing I have a hard time with repetition in VR, so I can only do that so many times. And I think I might have tried the tooth thing 2 or 3 times, and I was, there they are, they're just dancing, just mocking Roots. And but yeah, it's very challenging. It's a lot of fun, and it's very similar to you, like you said, to Headmaster, except for your throwing versus heading stuff. So
Right, but it's that same gameplay loop, right, where you're constantly have to be on your toes. Quick head movement, quick hand movement. I guess for this, Headmaster didn't have the hands involved so much, but it's that same type of moving at the waist, constantly, you know, alert to what's flying at you. And this game, as opposed to Headmaster, Headmaster can get pretty hectic at sometimes, but this game can be overwhelming sometimes because you have so many different things coming at you at once.
frustrating, yeah. And what I like about this game is everything's catching and throwing. Like even the life, you're low on life, you'll see the little fat bakery guy floating across on a balloon. You got to hit him, and then the thing gets thrown at you, and then you got to grab it and eat it. So it's just constant throwing and grabbing. And you know what I thought was the coolest thing I figured out in this level was you can take stuff between levels. Like if you're still holding it, you can go to the next thing. And so, like, see these sharks. I had all sorts of fun with a shark and a human, or those humans are like, you're grabbing them and they're like all pissed and they're screaming, and I saw I was taking, there was one, I had something in my hand out, the cannon, and I was smacking him. I'd smack him twice, and then he'd go unconscious for about 5 or 10 seconds, and then he'd wake up and get all pissed again. It's just so cool. Just the animations and just how good they did. Looking at those little guys that close, the detail. And Wes, anybody that says, look, Goliath is evil, these fuckers, they are pissed, man. They are angry. They fit in with 2020. I think these people are ready to burn some stuff down, and they are ready to kill you. And there's no messing around. You have to kill or be killed, right?
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good analogy to make. Radio Runt joining the chat. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, you won the game, dude. You did it.
You did it. Way to go, everybody! Round of applause for Radio Runt.
Yeah, Radio
Way
Runt.
to be number 3, bro. Who knew that being number 3 would lead to being number 1?
Yeah, number 3 is number 1 now. So you will get a chance to tell everybody how good Djinni Thaco is.
Yeah, absolutely. You have been chosen. But yeah, I see that you said that this game was kind of like that one, and I do see the similarities, especially from a production standpoint. It has that same kind of look to it, really.
Oh my God! Did you see what's happening here, Wes? What
Yeah,
the hell was I doing? I didn't know you could catch those balls and load. I would grab those guns, and I'm like, I would shoot one, and I'm like, why do I have this gun? They're making these teeth look like a bitch, and they're making me look bad. I feel like
man,
I'm doing it wrong.
You got to use those cannons. That's a big part of it.
Yeah, I didn't know you could. That's so cool, dude. Now I know. I'm gonna go in there, and they just totally won the wave. That would have been me if I would have known about the cannons. So.
Yeah, well, there you go. You learn something every day. We're teaching people here on the Monday show.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jim Hall was saying, basically, whenever somebody does it, I can say, "You did it." So, but that's my.
Oh yeah. Anyway, a lot of good level diversity here, and really, I didn't. I thought that Goliath might be the villain. When he was in the village and just killing the villagers. But after you get to those pirate dudes, those guys are jerks. So I felt absolutely no remorse killing them. They were asking for it, Roots.
Yeah, I think they were. Yeah, I don't know why they hate us so much, but they are very angry, and that makes me want to kill them.
Yeah, Goliath must have a red hat or something.
Yeah, I think so. Look at how angry they are. They are.
Yeah, they are. I know, right? It's like, I don't know. You'd think he took all the rum or something.
Yeah, I think he did.
Look at them in their little stereotypical pirate costumes. They look like they're straight out of Long John Silver's.
Yeah, or Sea of Thieves. That's what I thought. Yeah. I felt like I was playing Sea of Thieves all over again. This is pretty much the same gameplay. No, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe a little different. No Krakens here. Well, actually, I'm going to hold my tongue there.
Damn it. All right.
No spoilers. Anyway, Roots, this game has been on sale in recent weeks for $10. And as new of a game as this is, and as good as a game that this is, that's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, because just for what I've played so far, I've got like 3 or 4 hours in, and I would imagine I'm good. By the time I'm done, I'm gonna have 8 or 10 hours, and for $10, it's usually what, $20. So even at $20, that's a good deal.
Yeah, I think it's a good $20 game. If I'm not mistaken, Infinity game, is that right?
Yep. Yeah, so you can play it for free.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody should play this. Most, or at least a good number of you have access to it already through Infinity, and the ones that don't, I mean, it's a cheap game, and I assure you, we did not get a code for this one. We've never even spoken to these developers. We're not blowing smoke up your ass. This is a good game. It's fun. It's one of those you can veg out on, because you're not thinking. Unlike Djinni and Thaco, where you're constantly thinking about what am I going to do. This game is about not thinking. It's all about reaction. It's a game of reflexes, and it's a palate cleanser. It's not a main course game, but it's a good game after you've put some time into something that's very mentally taxing, and you want to just play something that you don't have to think about for a little while. This is a good game, and this is how I've been progressing through it. Is after playing something else, I'll wind down by playing this. And, it's funny to think, winding down as I'm doing all this movement, but mentally winding down.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I think I picked it up. I saw it was on Mamefan's wish list, and I said, you know what? I want to play that too. So fucking, I just bought it. And I think it was a good pickup. So.
Yeah. And, we covered this title weeks ago. We've already said quite a bit about it. And you know me, when I play a game for the show, I play it, I enjoy it, I say I'm going back into it, and then I move on to whatever we're talking about next week. I think the biggest testament I can make toward the quality of this game is just by telling you guys that I'm almost finished with it. So, I mean, obviously, if I'm coming back to it that much, there's 5 worlds, 3 levels in each world. I've just started on the 5th world, so
Ooh.
3 more levels, Roots, and we're done.
Dude, this video is teaching me all sorts of stuff. You can load everything in that cannon. He's loading people. He's loading. I mean, I feel like I was doing it wrong, man. I put in like 3 or 4 hours not knowing how to do it. That really excites me because I had those cannons and I just would end up throwing them. Like I want to shoot some shit, man. So I'm really excited to go back in here for real and just crush this level because it's going to be a joke with that cannon.
Yeah, Mamefan saying $108 per year for Viveport. Did we pay that? No, it was on sale for $27 just like 2 or 3 months ago, and that was when I re-upped.
Some people like got it a couple, like actually extended it even further, right? They were able to do it twice, or I don't know. You can actually add onto that somehow. I don't know. I don't know too much about it.
You can keep buying it and it stacks. So like you can't buy like 2 years at a time, but you can buy a year and then go back and buy another year, and it stacks up. So
yeah. So I would not. I mean, $108 is a lot of money compared to 27.
But still, think of it this way though. Imagine you're somebody. I mean, we've got 800 odd games in our Steam library alone. I mean, imagine somebody who's new to VR who just spent a bunch of money on a PC and a headset, don't have any games.
Right.
Are you going to go buy 2 or 3 games, or are you going to spend like your $10-12 a month on Infinity, and now all of a sudden you have 700 or 800 games that you can play?
Yeah, and you got Tornuffalo. So, man, he got that tooth easy. Yeah, dude, that's a perfect example. $12, $13. Somebody just came into VR. They have access to all these different games, and they've got a full month to try them, and then they could start buying them. I'm a big believer of wanting to own a lot of these games, not only for myself to play or for other people that are family sharing or whatever, but also for the devs. But I mean, that's what a great way to find out if you like a game or try it and find out you don't like it than through Viveport Infinity.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of stuff on there that's not even games. A lot of the type of things that you'd like to experience, but you're not really quite willing to pay for. A whole lot of that stuff on there as well.
Yeah, yeah. And the funniest thing, Wes, is like if you went back to Roots when we first got into VR, or like within that first 6 months, I would have said, I ain't getting Viveport, dude. That's shit. And look how far it's come in the last year and a half. It's like Radio Runt's the best, man. It's the best deal in VR.
Last 2 months, man. I mean, it's been crazy.
Yeah, really good games. And
Yeah,
and then like you said, all those experiences that really reluctant to pay money, but I want to check out, they're almost always on Viveport Infinity.
Yep.
So.
The line, Emmy nominated interactive experience just went live on Infinity.
Oh wow. You know, I do see the future, Wes, and I see Vive contacting us and they're like, dude, you know, we're gonna give you this lifetime Viveport Infinity.
Well, we've earned it. I think we talk about Infinity more than I talk about Polybius and
every week.
Oh. Yeah, twice a week.
Yeah, it's still worth it for $9 a month.
It's always at least, we talk about it at least once a week because of free stuff and killer deals. But it seems like more than that because there's always a game on the Monday show that just so happens to be on Infinity. And we mention it again.
Yeah, very true.
Anyway, again, 3 great games this week, Roots. What a fun time.
Yeah, a lot of good time. Got a lot of good action in those games. Definitely worth playing.
But I guess we need to get started on this topic because it is a bit of a larger discussion. I think we might be on it for a minute because, you know, it's been a rough year, right, for the world, 2020. And it's kind of hard sometimes to keep your head up. It's kind of hard to look forward to the future. But many of us being, gaming enthusiasts, being VR enthusiasts, we've always had the coming generation change that we knew would be happening at the end of the year. There's new consoles coming this year, all sorts of things slated to happen. So we've always kind of, I can't wait till we get there, right? We've always kind of had this thought in our head, I can't wait till we get there. But here lately, over the last week, maybe 2 weeks, I've just had this feeling of excitement, Roots, more than just optimism for what's coming. As I look around and see all the things that keep happening, it becomes more and more obvious that we're there, Roots. It's not a future thing anymore. We can see in the news, in the headlines right now, we can see the wheels starting to turn, the actual machine coming to life and building a bridge into that next generation. And rather than optimism, Roots, now I'm starting to feel genuine excitement.
Yeah, because it's right on the horizon and everything seems to be coming together. I guess Hussein just said that you can get a lifetime in Infinity if you buy the Cosmos. I didn't know that, right? Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a pretty good. I thought they gave you a year. I didn't know it was lifetime.
Yeah.
And it'd almost be worth it for that.
Yeah, maybe that's the new draw, huh? But yeah, definitely. I guess I can switch the scene. We'll just switch to the first one. One of the biggest things that's coming, right? For me, at least, is the excitement for this PlayStation, right? They keep building up. We're seeing all this, these new games that the new engine, the Unreal Engine, the Tempest audio, the super fast hard drives. Somebody was even saying in the chat earlier, they believe that when PlayStation comes out, it's going to affect the PC hardware as well, because of a lot of people it's going to be so fast that the people that wanted to just stick with PC, they may say, oh, consoles are now a consideration again. I kind of tuned out once I got used to 60 frames per second gaming versus 30. But now that's even going to change, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, a lot of people think that the reason why this next generation of graphics cards has such a high ceiling is because of the consoles. So people think that Nvidia wants to crush the consoles, which is never going to happen. It's a different audience, right? But we've been waiting. When you say next gen gaming to people, generally the first thing that comes to mind are the consoles, the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5. It's been slow. It's been due to the state of the world. We're not having a typical generation year, right? Things are happening on a bit of a different schedule, and people are just, on the roof with anticipation for this and hanging on every rumor. But we're starting to see the ball roll with PlayStation 5. Just this last week, officially, Sony has started its PlayStation 5 ad campaign with a commercial. This is what I really liked about this commercial, Roots, even though it was this kind of artistic live action thing. The commercial revolves around the Tempest audio and DualSense haptic feedback. So we've kind of gone off of the tech talks and such up to this point, Roots, and pointed out to people that it appears like PlayStation's making a new commitment to immersive gaming with the PlayStation 5. And I think the fact that their very first ad revolves around 3D audio and haptics, I think that just uh, basically backs up everything that we've been saying here. It's a new approach, and I'm excited for it.
If you watch this trailer, you almost looks like a VR trailer, right? Minus the headset. Like she's in the game. She's there. She's running. She's doing all the stuff, right?
Right. Well, that's kind of what we said, right? That Sony seems to be taking a VR approach to traditional games, trying to make regular games more like VR games. And if that's what they're doing with their traditional games, I really can't wait to see what they're going to do with their VR.
Yeah. Well, and let me ask you this, because obviously you're going to get the PlayStation 5, and you've said there's going to be some titles out there that are flat. Are you going to look at flat gaming a little bit different with this new console than you would say with the PlayStation 4? Because I know people that it happens. There are people out there, they really do believe flat gaming is slumming it. I think it's just a different experience, and when I'm flat gaming, I can sit back and relax. I don't have to have the headset on. It's just a different experience, but it's equally good, or I guess you're not in it, but it can still be good. I don't know.
Well, I kind of have to, right? I mean, I've got children that they all still play flat games, and they're just as excited for PlayStation 5 as I am. So obviously, I'll be buying some flat games, and I think I'd be kind of foolish not to check them out. I fully believe the what people have been saying, and that the next generation Sony first party titles are going to have capabilities that we've never seen in games before. This is coming from developers.
Yeah.
So when I hear that, I can't help but get excited. And how's this for timing, Roots? My television in my living room, it just died. Right?
Really?
It was a 1080p television, and I've been kind of kicking around the idea of maybe getting a 4K HDR TV, my very first one, just so I can see what PS5 is going to look like with a good display. And just like that, as I'm thinking this, my my television in my living room is finally dead, and I'm going to have to buy a TV regardless.
Yeah, he knows his wife was watching. He was sabotaging it. He didn't want her to know. He's trying to get that 4K TV. Dude, my TV is doing weird stuff along the bottom. It's got all sorts of lights. The lights are coming up, and I don't know, man. I feel like it's going out as well, but I don't know that I'll be buying a 4K HDR TV. I'd probably go the other route of where you did when you smashed it. I'll just get a cheapy 1080p because I got my 144 monitor, and that's usually what I'm looking at anyway. So
yeah, I'm not looking at, even without like the holiday sales, TVs are not that expensive anymore. You can get a a 55-inch, 4K HDR television for about $300 now. So,
Yeah, that's what Jim
I
Hall was
mean,
saying. They're so cheap right now, or now in general. And that's exactly it. When I bought this monitor, I was deciding between a 144 hertz monitor or a 4K TV that was about 40 inches, and they were about the same price. And I
yeah.
decided to go with the monitor. So it is cheap. And I'll tell you what, the HDR makes a difference. I mean, the colors will pop, and I think it'll be really cool for you.
Well, see, that's the thing. I've never watched any kind of HDR or 4K. I've never put my eyes on it. So it's not just about the games, right? I mean, the games I'm sure are going to be stunning. But I mean, we can watch movies and, Blu-rays and whatever. It's got a high capacity Blu-ray drive in it as well.
Yeah, Jim Hall says go OLED, then it won't be cheap.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it won't if I do that. But again, dude, I buy expensive displays, but I buy them in pairs in a wearable fashion. You know what I mean? I don't need to spend a bunch of money on a TV for flat games that I might go into a few times.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing that. So, but we'll get one better than the one that just died though. I've had that TV for probably I don't know 8 years, maybe 10. So
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's
yeah,
a pretty good
it's been a
track
while.
record.
Yeah, I picked it up on Black Friday many years ago.
Black Friday, how racist. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I know, right? Black Friday matters.
I bet it changes. I bet that this is the year the Black Friday name goes out. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
It's been there
hey
too
man,
long.
I have seen sillier things happen, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
A lot of people get nervous with the quietness. I mentioned that the console marketing has been kind of slow, right? And compared to normally they start, talking about this stuff in February, and by the time June rolls around, everything's out in the open. But it hasn't been the case this year. A lot of people speculating that due to the state of the world, that the PlayStation 5 might be delayed. But shortly after this television ad started running, Eric Limpel, the senior vice president and head of global marketing at Sony Interactive Entertainment, reassured us that PS5 will ship this holiday without the delay. So
Nice.
there we go, Roots. From the horse's mouth once more, holiday 2020, you can take it to the bank.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I want to take it to the bank with my free PlayStation VR. Our PlayStation 5. That's the thing. I need to win the lotto, or I need to do something, because I need my yaw. I need my PlayStation VR. There's already a list of things you just listed now that I want: my video card, new TV. It's a lot of stuff, Wes.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying, man. When you start talking about maybe biting the bullet and buying a yaw or a graphics card, there's no way in hell, dude. I've got a good $2,000 worth of other stuff I got to pay for before we even get there.
Yeah. So that yaw, isn't that good for racing as well? Because like
Dirt Rally.
yeah,
Dirt Rally. That's
Dirt
what
Rally.
Shiny's been raving about. He said he's been completely immersed in Dirt Rally, and he hasn't even broken out the wheel and pedals yet, man. He's been playing with a gamepad.
Really? Holy shit, man. Okay, so Radio Run, can you see yourself having the yaw and not using your steering wheel? I don't even know. That would probably be hard to do, right? You kind of have to use the joint controller. I don't see how you are.
It mounts. No, they have a place for you to mount that stuff on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, maybe
it's made for it, bro. Made for it.
Maybe it's time I get the yaw.
Dude, seriously, I that thing looks amazing. And for really, I mean, we say it's expensive, but compared to something like a Feel 3 motion simulator, the yaw is dirt cheap.
Yeah,
and it's compact. It's not going to take up a whole room in your house. Honestly, if I wasn't buying so many other things, I would be considering buying one of those.
Well, the good news is time will only make it cheaper, or a better version. So you wait another year or two, everybody will have that yaw or something similar. I just want, I love No Limits 2, and I think that would be an amazing game if you're moving literally, and then you get the fan and it's blowing on you. So
yeah, and then absolutely you can use it with No Limits too. So that's cool.
Yeah, no TV, graphic cards, Yaw VR for VR Spry Guy. So
Are you getting that in the chat? My chat quit moving like a while ago, so I think it might
something's
be.
something's weird with the thing. I've had to refresh it a couple times. I was like, man, we've been sitting at 16 for a long time, and then I refreshed it, and we were like at 28. So I don't know what's going on with the YouTube at the moment, but yeah, Radio Runt Idaho is waiting for a yaw. So I agree.
Anyway, PlayStation 5 rumors, links, and information continue to drop on next-gen games, such as Hitman 3, Resident Evil 8, and as well as other console features such as hardware-based ray tracing and AI upsampling. So basically, what all this adds up to is the next generation of console gaming finally underway, Roots, with this ad campaign, with all of the information that they keep uh, giving us, no longer leaks, but just, information sharing. Console gen swap is well underway now.
Wow, I'm excited. I just every time I think about it, I just feel like Xbox is blowing it and PlayStation is just knocking it out of the park. And maybe we'll feel differently when it's all said and done and everything evens out and we see what everything has. But I just think PlayStation seems to be thinking future, and Xbox seems to be, I don't know what they're doing. So
Yeah, I don't think that they know what they're doing either.
yeah, absolutely.
But I think that they think that they're going to win favor with people by no player left behind. This kind of new attitude that they have. But in the process, that they completely overlook the fact that they're not giving anyone any reason to buy their thing unless it's somebody coming in cold who doesn't have anything but an Xbox. I mean, the last generation Xbox can play all the new games. PC can already play all the new games. I mean, it's a tremendous deal for what they put in the Xbox, spec wise. I mean, even if they put $600 price tag on it, it's going to be a tremendous deal. But the fact of the matter is, that thing can't do anything my computer can't do, and it can't play any games that my computer won't get. So, I mean, even if they had VR on it, I don't think I would buy it because they're not going to run any exclusives on it.
And it's not going to be better than your computer either. So what's the point, right?
Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe they'll announce that it supports Reverb G2 tomorrow, and that Hellblade is going to be a console exclusive. If they do that, I'll be going out and buying one. But I find that to be very, very highly unlikely. And even if they say that Hellblade was a console exclusive anyway, I wouldn't really believe them because it'd probably just be timed, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hussein X says, imagine Facebook selling Oculus Rift to Xbox while it focuses on Facebook Quest. That would be interesting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so many possibilities with that partnership between
it's common.
Facebook and Microsoft. And I guess this would be a good time to move on to Facebook because console gaming is not the only generation swap that's happening this year. We can see these very same things happening at a faster and faster pace within the VR landscape, and specifically when it comes to Oculus. I mean, for about the last 2 to 3 months, the headlines have been coming fast and hard out of Facebook, and it seems to only be getting faster and harder, Roots. And you know who loves it that way?
My mom! Oh, she loves it fast and hard.
Absolutely. But anyway, as we all know, rumors and leaks have pretty much confirmed that a new standalone VR headset is in production, and it looks like a 6 Degrees of Freedom Oculus Go. Facebook, and this is something I think is really cool, Roots, something that we've needed for a while. Facebook just this week confirmed that multiple user accounts will be able to be accessed on a single device. So we're actually going to be able to share are standalone VR headsets for the first time since the inception of Oculus Quest.
Well, I think they finally heard you, Wes. You must have said it about a million times on the show. Like you, you literally just said it last week before this news dropped, right? Like they need to have multiple accounts. There's nothing more frustrating than having a game that you're like, I want you to check it out, but I don't want you to fuck up my progress. Please don't. Oh, you just did something, you know? That just sucks. And I'm glad that they're doing it now. Scion VR in Discord, he was theorizing that this was damage control for their news. Now, what do you think about that, or do you think it was already in the plans?
I think it's obviously was already in the plans, and I think that I think the premise is highly unlikely. I think that they know that their naysayers aren't going to be silenced by something like that. People are going to complain anyway, and they know that. So, I don't think that they feel the need to do any kind of damage control.
Yeah, well, I think it's a good thing. Obviously, there's bad parts of Facebook doing what they're doing. They're now they're making a big shift, right? They're actually shifting away from the Oculus name more towards Facebook. I mean, even though they're using it, it's just more it's more going to be the Facebook line, correct?
Well, what you're referring to specifically is they're changing the name of their entire VR AR operation to Facebook Reality Labs instead of Oculus. Now, before Facebook Reality Labs only referred to the research and development sector of the company. Now it pretty much is what they're using to refer to the whole thing, but it's all nomenclature, right? It's all branding. There's no substance to that. It doesn't mean anything. They're keeping the Oculus brand around, and one of the things we're going to talk about in a moment will show you that it's going absolutely nowhere. But Roots, it's just all about what we call it. It has no real meaning. I don't know why people are getting so upset about that.
Well, I think the biggest thing that people got upset, and I thought it was weird because it's so far off. By 2023, they're going to force you to use your account or to do something, right? To actually, you have to use the Facebook account by that time, or
yeah, you just have to link them the same way that you link your Google account to like your Nvidia account or your YouTube account. Look, we all have a Google account, a Yahoo account. We have an Epic account. We have, all of these different accounts. We already have them. I don't understand why people are so up in arms over the fact that they have to associate their Oculus account with their Facebook account. Your Facebook already owns Oculus. They already know who you are, dude. So it's not like there's some big secrets being let out of the bag. And even if it were, my name's not on my Facebook account. I made a Facebook account when they started making it necessary for the social features. I've already linked my accounts when they did that. But the truth of the matter is that the name on my Facebook account is exactly the same as the name on my Oculus account. And that name is Lethal Weasel VR. It's not my real name. And you can set up a burner Facebook account in about 5 minutes. So again, it's just having another account. If people are concerned about privacy, then I would challenge them to get into a time machine and go back a decade because we lost internet privacy, many, many years ago.
it's just there's too much. It's everywhere you turn, we're losing it. So I agree. At some point, it becomes a mute point. But I guess this would be my biggest concern because you see people getting their Facebook account banned for whatever reason. Now, if like say I post something on there that they don't like, I get banned. Does that affect my games? Am I still able to log into my games? And that's what I would be worried about is like, is there a chance of me being locked out of my account for whatever reason? Political, because that's what it is in this world. It's left or right. Everybody's so angry. Everything's political. And I just want to play my games. I don't want to think about politics when I go into gaming. I want to forget about the crazy,
Well, I would suggest if you're the type of person who talks politics on Facebook, to just make another account. Take
Yeah.
5 minutes, make another Facebook account, associate that with your Oculus account. Problem solved, and you can go argue about the R's and the D's all you want to on your other account, and you don't have to worry about it affecting your games.
Yeah, my thing is I don't even go on Facebook anymore for a long time. As soon as the youth told me it's not cool anymore, I just noped out. I was like, dude, I got to do what they tell me. So,
People, they get upset about this perceived loss of privacy on the internet. But the fact of the matter is that ever since Google overtook Yahoo and Facebook overtook MySpace, privacy has been dead. It is long gone, and we're not getting it back. So jump on board, folks. There's nothing you can do about it now anyway.
yeah, Hussein X says that I guess there's a real name policy with Facebook. I don't know. I think it's getting harder to create those accounts. Like they I don't know, they like want your some kind of proof or something, but I guess at some point I've already done like you said. I linked it. I don't worry about that. I know that they're literally spying on me in so many ways. I try to minimize it, but at some point, like, genie's out of the bottle. We're where we're at, and we're kind of screwed when it comes to privacy issues,
Yeah.
everywhere. So
But I mean, beyond that, I just made mine last year, and I put complete false information on it. So
okay.
it wasn't that long ago. I was able to do it. Maybe they've changed it since then. But besides all that, the fact that all of this is coming to light this week is just one more indicator in a long list of things here that just points to big changes coming to the VR sphere with regards to Facebook. Um, Again, we mentioned the thing about multiple user accounts being able to be used. It was just last week or I guess maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago now, that they announced that there was going to be a way for developers to publish Oculus, excuse me, Oculus Quest apps outside of the Quest store.
Hmm.
So no more need for like a side quest. There's going to be kind of like an official side quest now that they don't curate, that people can just publish whatever they want on.
Cool. So do you think SideQuest is gonna disappear?
Absolutely not. I think
Hmm.
SideQuest has developed a pretty good community over there. It's something that I visit at least once a week, and a lot of cool software on there, a lot of cool people on there, and I feel like the direction that they're going with their application. I mean, there's a lot more you can do on SideQuest than just buy apps. It's a pretty good file manager for your Quest. So like it's a lot easier to do certain things on SideQuest than it is even on the Oculus software. So
Cool. Well, can't wait to try it out someday.
so we have all of these new announcements, these new policies coming from Oculus. We've got a bunch of obviously rumored new hardware. And then we have Facebook Horizon. We've known for a while that closed beta tests have been going on behind closed doors, or digital doors, I guess, the kind that don't have knobs. But Facebook has also confirmed this past week that a revamped version of Oculus Venues is coming, and that it's going to feature new Horizon style avatars, a new lobby area, and new social features. So here we have evidence of Facebook building up their social apps, right? Venues is a social app. It's a way for you to take in events with your friends. And I mean, it's always been kind of a cool thing, but not very feature heavy, right? Kind of a basic bare bones type thing. Well, not anymore. They're going to have brand new Horizon style avatars, new areas for you to hang out with your friends, and all sorts of new features. Again, another announcement this last week, Roots.
That's crazy. And that the venues, that's Quest exclusive right now, right? They still don't have that.
Absolutely.
That's bullshit, Les, because I saw that they signed a contract with the NBA. And not that I'm watching the NBA anymore, but I think it's cool, man. I mean, if they're stepping it up, you know that they're finally going to get that, make you really feel like you're there. They're gonna step it up that notch. That Venues was, or I guess whatever, what was it, Next VR that had the NBA before, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is kind of a huge deal because this isn't exactly the next VR deal with the NBA. This is something uh, completely different. And again, just like a lot of this other stuff we've already talked about, this is an announcement from just this past week. Facebook has announced a multi-year deal with the NBA, which will bring live sports content to Oculus venues. But this deal will also include Oculus branded segments throughout televised NBA games. So, Roots, anytime that someone's tuning in on, say, ESPN to watch an NBA game and they go to that rail cam, the one that gives you the sideline view that follows the action up and down the floor, every time they go to that, the Oculus brand is going to be up on the screen. They're going to be plugging their new headsets. They're going to be plugging their games. They're going to be plugging their social platform. And they're not going to be plugging it as Facebook. This is going to be Oculus branded.
Hmm.
So not only does that mean that the Oculus brand that people seem to be so upset about losing isn't going anywhere, but the fact that for the next several years, there's going to be day after day, week after week, month after month of Oculus in people's face. This is a big, big deal.
Yeah, it's finally actual advertisement and pushing to get people to pick up your stuff, which is something that has just started with the Quest. I think is the first time I saw any real marketing for VR, like force marketing, like you see in every other brand, right? And now I mean, it's going to this, and there's a lot of sports fans out there, Wes. As soon as they find out they can actually be on court side and it's going to look good, they're going to pick up their headset, right?
Yeah, and this stuff is going to go beyond just even VR. There's going to be mobile apps and things too for people to experience the NBA in different ways that they never have before through the power of Facebook with the branding of Oculus on it. It's a big, big deal. And, why do we keep talking about all these different things with this similar thread Facebook through it? And I think at some point, if you look at the big picture and everything that we're talking about here, it becomes fairly obvious that one, Oculus has a new low end entry level headset on the way that it's going to try to push to the masses. They've secured advertisement for it through their deal with the NBA, and they're bringing about new user-friendly policies for it. We're starting to hear more about Horizon. They're redoing venues. They're building their social platform that we've all known was coming, right? They're getting ready to unveil it. So what I very much expect is that at this very next Connect 7, that we're going to see new hardware. We're going to see new social features. We're going to see this Oculus vision for VR start to be rolled out. And I think that that's what all of these things we've been talking about really point at. And one of the things, like I was saying at the top, that I was going to speculate was now that we're seeing all this other things, that at least sometime within the next couple of weeks, Oculus is going to give us a date for the next Oculus Connect, and that's where we're going to learn about this headset and all this other stuff. And sure enough, before I could even get on air to even say that, we have learned that Facebook has announced Facebook Connect 7. And now it's not Oculus Connect anymore. Now it's Facebook Connect. But this is going to take place on September 16th and will be 100% digital. Anyone can access the keynote and all of the events online for free. And for all the crap that we've dealt with, Roots, I got to feel like these online trade shows are a pretty good consolation prize. All these places we could never go before, we can attend all this stuff now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You see a push, right? The new norm, and every type of entertainment is going VR because nobody's going out and doing anything. Like Spry Guy just said, the NBA ratings are tanking. All the sports are tanking. No one's going to concerts. Even if they open up today and said we're going to do it, most people are afraid to go. And so, this is the perfect time to unveil all of this. And my prediction is we're going to see a snowball effect of all of it's just going to start really flooding, because there's a mainstream push for VR, in a way that I didn't think we'd be seeing this soon. And I think maybe that the pandemic kind of pushed things forward a little bit faster than they would have been. So,
Well, what happens is when all of these big companies start to see their bottom line affected, they start brainstorming, right? How can we get people back into spending money on our products? And the fact of the matter is if people aren't going out for live entertainment anymore, then we have to find new ways to get them to purchase digital entertainment. And there's no better way to do that than to realize, Facebook's vision for VR, which is that it's the next major computing platform. They said they want to put 2 billion people in VR. And if 2 billion people are in VR, all of a sudden people can go to games again, people can go to movies again, people can go to Mars. And I think that the larger business world obviously can see the benefit in it. And, this is not news to us. We've been saying it from day one.
yeah. No, we're here. We did it, Wes.
Right, exactly. So basically, I've spelled out here for you all of the signs of the next generation of Facebook, Oculus, whatever you want to call it. But I know all of you guys, or at least most of you, are PCVR gamers. And as usual, you're left out here saying, what about us? Well, they didn't completely forget you guys. Amongst all of this news about the company, about platforms, social, this, that, and the other thing, we also got some PCVR stuff from Facebook as well. First of all, a new update has been rolled out, Roots, for the Oculus Rift S. First one in a long time. And this is going to feature improved head tracking as well as stabilized video recording. So what do you think about that, Roots? They're finally, for the first time in forever, supporting the Oculus Rift headset.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. 2 questions. Okay. One is, you said it's already out? It's already dropped?
This has rolled out.
Oh, wow. So I got to go back and see if I notice a difference. And then my second question is, as awesome as that is, where the fuck are my hand tracking? I want to do this in VR. All the Quest people get to do this, and they wave their hands around, and us Rift players have been waiting, and I think it's been successful, Wes. I think they succeeded with the hand tracking, and that was what they told us. If it works well and we keep it, we're gonna give it to Rift S and the redheaded stepchild.
Well, here's the thing that people don't really want to admit about the hand tracking. They can make it work pretty good, but the fact is there's really not that much use for hand tracking in VR. We need controllers. We have to have buttons. Otherwise, the experiences tend to take on a very simplistic scope. We need diverse, rich, fulfilling experiences, and to do that, we need more interface than just a visual hand track.
Yeah, you need haptics and stuff. It'd be good for like big screen or like just certain apps, or even just using, especially anything that's media driven, just being able to punch stuff. But yeah, I agree. I think we need haptics. We need controllers. I like controllers. I like joysticks. I like them a lot.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be plenty of cool hand tracking stuff, but it's never going to be like, I mean, it'll be very useful in social applications, I'm sure. But from the gamer's perspective, I mean, there might be a few cool games that revolve around it, but there aren't going to be a lot.
I just want to flip people off in VR. I just can't do it. I don't have the index.
But speaking of PCVR and speaking of games, a new story trailer for Medal of Honor Above and Beyond is set to debut later this week to kick off Gamescom, Roots. So another thing I was going to speculate is that in an attempt to appease the PCVR crowd, the ones that always say, what about me, that we would start to hear about Lone Echo 2 and Medal of Honor, which has been the word on both of those games for a long time now. So I'm actually glad to see that later this week we're going to actually catch some as a story trailer for Medal of Honor.
Nice. Well, give us an idea of how good it is. Now, I'm one of those people, Wes, that I'm not 100% looking forward to Lone Echo 2, and I'll tell you why. Not that it's not going to be a good game. I don't. It makes me have to go back to the one. I have to finish one, and where I'm at, man, I'm like floating in space. I don't know what the hell's going on. There's actually a lot going on once you get out of the ship, and it's I guess maybe I do need to finish it, Wes. Now that I think of it.
Yeah, it's actually toward the top of my my list when my G2 gets here. I'm waiting until my super high res headset gets here, and I'm going to play it in Revive.
Listen to Wes. He keeps rubbing it in with his G2. No, just kidding. That's gonna be awesome, dude. I can't wait to hear all your stories of how good everything looks. But
yeah, I'll be absolutely honest about it, and hopefully it's as awesome as I think it's going to be. And if it's not, you'll probably find it on eBay pretty quickly.
You return it quick, huh? Yeah. So Hussein X says he's crossing his fingers for a premium Rift announcement to go along with Medal of Honor. I don't know if that's coming.
No, not this year. No, I don't necessarily think that it's impossible that we'll get another generation of Oculus Rift. To be quite honest, a lot of the features and things that they've been working on, I kind of have trouble seeing it being put into a mobile unit right away, like the varifocal lenses and all this stuff that they've been working on. I kind of see I see them bringing PCVR along as kind of a test bed, right, for new features and things that they can't really do in mobile yet. So I think we might get another generation or two of Facebook branded PCVR just for that reason alone, and not to mention the fact that they're going to continue to support Oculus Link through their future standalones anyway. So we're going to get VR games like Oculus exclusive PCVR games anyway, just to support Oculus Quest and Oculus Link.
Yeah, that sounds pretty feasible. Now, Slay Blaze, I agree with you, says Sebastian MRTV really likes his G2, it seems. And that was one of the reasons why you decided to pre-order, right? Because he's had his hands on so many headsets. For that to be his daily driver, that says a lot.
Yeah, actually, I ended up pre-ordering it the day before his review came out because I had an idea that he was going to convince a lot of people. And man, was I right. I'm so glad I didn't wait for that thing to air, because I would probably have to wait another week or two if I did.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Anyway, Roots, a lot of things happening. It's not just generation shift on consoles and in Facebook, just the VR as a whole. We can see major changes on the horizon because of things that are happening right now. And of course, over the last few months, reports have surfaced that Apple is developing a standalone VR headset with 2022 as a targeted release date. We've known that this rumor has been supported by the fact that Apple recently acquired Next VR for around $100 million. So, as much as people hate Facebook, Roots, we have a lot to thank them for. If it weren't for their millions and billions at this point that they've spent on furthering VR, VR very well might be dead. But it seems like Facebook's not going to be the only game in town in just a couple years' time, because Apple throwing money around like it ain't no thing, and it very much looks like this rumored VR headset, Apple VR, is a real thing.
What do you think about Next VR? They bought Next VR, and then Facebook solidifies the NBA contract through a different venue. So Next VR is not going to have NBA, I'm assuming. So what is it going to have? It really doesn't have much right now.
Next VR 100% will not have NBA. They actually lost those rights. Yahoo Group had control of them for a very short period of time, couple of months, something like that. And then the big deal was worked out between Facebook and the NBA. And it's going to remain with Facebook for quite some time. And again, it's a bigger deal than the one Next even had, because there's all of this television advertising and branding involved with it as well.
Wow, and it makes you wonder how good Facebook's going to make it look. You know what I mean? And it's not going to be Next VR level. It's going to be good. Not that Next
Yeah.
VR wasn't good, but no,
Yeah.
I found it kind of interesting with the Apple stuff. Because I was reading up on it and I was talking to you a little bit about because they're picking up other VR companies, correct? Like recently, it's kind of giving a little bit
Today.
more. Yeah, today.
Yeah, they just announced that they have picked up Spaces, and this is a report that comes from Protocol. The startup Spaces was acquired by Apple this week after the company made a statement via email and on its website that Spaces is, quote, heading in a new direction. Originally, this company focused on location based VR and produced experiences focused on popular IPs like the Terminator franchise. But recently, developed in the light of the pandemic, Spaces created a new PCVR app that allowed users to join video conferences within VR. So here they have, this. I'm not so sure what direction they're going to take it in. This is kind of like a thing where they can, people can go into VR, right, and say that there's a Zoom conference going on. People can use this Spaces app from inside their headset to join this Zoom call. And to the people who aren't in VR, you'll have an avatar stand in. But from inside the headset, you'll see everybody on your little virtual space there. So,
That's pretty cool. I was looking at that. Looks like they've really taken a lot of thought as far as getting people into a Zoom call, and I would imagine it could be good for like because you're giving a like there's people giving a speech or whatever there, and like you said, it's an avatar, but they're not really having to be there. So maybe if you have stage fright, that'd be a good way to do it through Zoom. And everything seems to be through Zoom now or on Skype or whatever. So this technology is huge, especially if you get a good majority of everybody in the headset. Because I was even looking to where they can have it set up to where, like, I've got two monitors, a TV and a monitor, and you can set up virtual monitors, and it looked a lot more stable than like virtual desktop or whatever. To where, and then you've got all those different people and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, it's pretty cool.
what it sounds a lot like to me is a lot of what we've heard of Facebook describe in recent Oculus Connects. I mean, it really, the more and more we learn about Apple VR, the more and more it looks like they're stepping up to compete with Facebook directly. And I don't think it's any accident that we see Facebook moving at such a fast pace
Mm.
now to get to where they want to be. And I think it's because they see what's coming. They know what Apple is, and as much as controversial as Apple has been, and there's a lot of Apple haters out there, and I'm not the biggest fan of Apple myself, but I am excited that they're getting involved with VR because just their involvement alone says everything that we need to know about VR as a potential technology going forward. They wouldn't be investing $100 million on something like Next VR if VR wasn't going to be a thing. I think that it's absolutely set in stone now. Uh, the people who decide have decided VR is going to work. People are going to be in it, and it's just a matter of time.
Well, the article I saw today, it said Apple was going. It was questioning: is Apple going from or VR going from geek to chic? And that's the mindset. Because if you have an Apple computer, there's a good chance you probably aren't in VR. If that's all you have, if you have a Macintosh, I mean, you can make it work, but it's not as PC friendly, correct? So
Yeah.
just those people are pretty much out of the picture. They're not real. They're like Xbox people. They're just VR is just not on their horizon. They've been told it's not very cool because Apple doesn't have it yet. But once Apple has it, I think it will. Just the perception will change, and it's going to cost a lot of money. I guarantee you, it's not going to be cheap.
Yeah, well, if you look at the other Apple products, the MacBooks, the iPhones, they all share a similar structure, right? They're all very expensive and they're all very nice, but they're not modular. That's very much a walled garden with regards to software. I think we can expect that the compute power of the Apple VR headset probably won't be the thing that knocks your socks off won't be the reason you're buying it. The actual capability of the processor not going to be state of the art. It'll be sufficient. It'll be good, but it won't be the best. But the display on everything Apple does is just beautiful, and I expect this to be no different. I expect expensive prices. I expect a stylish, trendy product from them. I expect high quality displays and cameras. This is what I expect out of an Apple device. And it's funny, a lot of people moaning and complaining about Apple's walled garden approach coming to VR. It's not any different than what Facebook's been doing with Quest. Facebook has been just as closed down with the Oculus Quest as Apple is with their iPhones and their iPads and everything that they do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's only good for VR to see them come into the fold, and I think it tells a tale, like you said. I think things are moving at a pace that we weren't even expecting, because there are a lot of companies out there that aren't making any money, and they're having those exact conversations that you said, where they're, okay, how can we get people into our venues or whatever? And VR's it's it. So.
Yep. And the numbers are just going to keep going up, and I can only imagine what the games are going to be when gaming becomes just another thing that people do in VR.
Yeah.
The games are going to be nuts, dude.
Yeah. Last of Us VR.
But anyway, that's not all. Of course, as many of you already know, patents have surfaced this week that detail Apple's two-tiered VR boundary system. So they've actually patented a VR boundary system, Roots. It's pretty weird to be doing stuff like that if you're not going to have a VR headset.
Yeah, that's true, especially with the fact that they're picking up VR companies left and right as well.
Yeah.
I think it's funny though, man. Think about it. Next VR, they buy Next VR, and Facebook comes in and fucking smacks them down with the NBA, dude. I guarantee Tim Cook's like, oh, what the hell, dude? Because that's probably what they were banking on, or one of the things. So,
dude, it's war. It's war. No, actually, I think Next VR has some kind of video technology, and I think that's why there were so much. Was that I seem to remember reading that. But it's war between Facebook and Apple. Absolute war. Facebook is all in. As much money as that company has generated over the last decade or two, they've pretty much invested it all in VR. They're all in. So when they see Apple coming in at this late hour, after all the work's been done, right? I got to imagine that they're, opening up the gun cabinet, getting the tanks all filled up. It is war. They're not about to give up their stake that they have put so much into over the last 6 or 7 years. They're not going to just let Apple waltz in here and take over.
No, absolutely not.
Anyway, so yeah, we've got Apple VR, we've got Facebook VR, we've got Microsoft VR, Roots. We can't forget about Microsoft. Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 has been released, and in typical Microsoft Flight Sim fashion, it has been spec'd well into the future. So, Roots, if you want to run this game on 4K 60, good luck. It's going to catch your computer on fire, and your house is going to burn down, and all this so that you could fly over your house that doesn't exist anymore because you burn it down.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is just how much it does take. I guess that this game is that advanced, right? To where it's pushing the hardware, and that's one of the things that I know. A lot of people say 16 gigs is enough. This video card's enough. This processor's enough. But we're on the boundary of them pushing limits, and this is a perfect example. There's people that want to play this game in 4K or even in VR that can't. They just don't have the video card to do it. And so you're turning everything down. And especially in VR, you're going to get in there with that G2. You'd be running a lot better with the 3080 Ti than the 1080 Ti, but you've just said you're not going to do it. So although the 1080 Ti will be sufficient, you won't be able to super sample the hell out of it, right?
Yeah, well, that's kind of the idea here, but it's interesting. I'm interested to see how they're going to approach VR, because basically the skinny is on the flat version. People are over exaggerating the issues that this is having on current gen graphics cards because they're trying to run it on specs that are too high. You don't have to run this at 60 frames per second. It's not Fortnite. This is a flight sim. It moves slowly. 30 frames per second is fine on this, but people are trying to push it too hard. And basically, like I said before, Microsoft always does this. They always make their flight simulator, when they launch it, the highest of high settings on it are not available to the technology at the time. They always future proof their software by doing this. But the fact of the matter is that if you're playing it flat, you can play it at 30 frames per second and it'll be beautiful. It'll look just fine. You'll never know the difference. The question becomes in VR, because in VR, unlike unlike flat gaming, if you don't have the right frame rate, you're going to get sick. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do, because remember, we're not just talking about any VR headset. This is set to launch in concert with HP Reverb G2, which is the highest resolution customer-based headset that we've ever seen. So 4K total display here, Roots, 2K per eye. I don't know how they're going to do it if they're having such trouble running 60 frames flat.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I would submit that I would have an easier time to run it on the Rift S at 80 with less resolution, because like you said, I mean, I might have to super sample it to make it look as good as you, but you're probably gonna have to maybe lower the resolution a little bit to get it to run. Who knows? I mean, I guess only time will tell exactly how much it's going to push your card. Good thing you got the 1080 Ti and it's overclocked, right? Otherwise, you were running like a 1060, like Paradise Decay several months ago. There's no way, dude. This thing ain't running that. I don't think, anyway. Not in VR.
Well, there's a couple of good news when it comes to this regard. First of all, I'm going in it fully understanding that I'm going to be playing locked at 45, right? I'm not running this thing 90. I'm going to be locked in at 45, and I'm going to be using, smoke and mirrors to fill out the other 45. That said, there are ways you can go about it. You could turn the detail down, for example, in the game itself, and experience full resolution. Or you could do what you just said. You could take it down to half resolution. And for those of you who are scoffing at that, check out the video that MRTV did on it. He compared the HP Reverb G2 at half resolution versus the Rift S, and it was still a lot more clear. Like text and everything was a lot more detailed at half resolution in the HP than it was in the Oculus Rift S. So that is a real option to go down to half detail. It still looks quite good. Probably not the approach I'll take. I'll lock mine in at 45 and take some of the detail level down. But again, I won't know until I get into my hands what that actually is all going to mean.
I'm really tempted to buy this game now. I don't know why. Like, am I going to play it out of VR? That's the thing. But I want to fly over the world, Wes. Like, is it the whole world, right? Or is it just the U.S.?
No, I mean, it's most of the world. Yeah.
I don't want to fly over China, dude. And I got to do it today.
You could fly over your house. Like, literally, you could fly over your house for real. And you could go to, like, your local Walmart, and the signage and everything that's local to you, it's all on there, dude.
Oh, wow. Can I see myself walking down this? That'd be cool. What if you saw yourself walking down the street in there and you're like, what the hell? That'd be kind of weird.
One of those Inception moments.
Yeah. But no, I want to check it out. I'm tempted to just pick it up. I think I got the Overgee's bug. He's always into flight sims, so and they say you could learn how to fly an actual plane, Wes. I have this dream of being the sole survivor, the person that rescues the plane as we're crashing, and I can't do that if I don't know how to fly a plane, bro.
Yeah, I've watched some people play this a little bit, and again, this is not a game. This is not a game. This is a legit simulator. But I did take the opportunity of watching an experienced pilot play this, and you can go up, Roots, to whatever altitude you want to go, wherever in the world you want to be. And again, with real-time weather and traffic, not just air traffic. I mean, it's crazy, but but you can go wherever you want, and then there's drills built in, engine failure drills, so that you can test yourself in these different disaster scenarios. Can you land this in this XYZ emergency situation?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks cool. Now, let me ask you this. If I like took off from Denver, Colorado, and I flew to, China or somewhere in Europe, is it real time? Like, are you going to take like an 8-hour flight, or how's that, or 12 hours or whatever it takes? It's a
I'm
long
sure that you
flight.
can skip. I'm sure that there's a way to skip it, but yeah. And not only that, but when you get there, you'll have to clear it with a virtual air traffic controller who's working you into real life flights that are taking off from China or wherever, maybe not China, but most countries. They work in real air traffic data, real
Hmm.
time through the internet, and a virtual air traffic controller has to give you the okay to land amongst all of this real life traffic that's going on.
Do you think there's any security issues with like all this stuff being out there? And like, not only can you like surveil the whole country from a virtual environment, or from the TV or however you do it, but now you got real life traffic, going in there, and you're like, hey, there's a real plane in there. Let's, I just, my mind always goes to what could go wrong, and a lot could go wrong with this, West. But it's super cool though. The thought of like, I didn't even think about that. The thought of watching an actual pilot, try to take off, and how good it would, and under certain circumstances, like maybe they want to be Denzel Washington and they want to fly upside down and they're going to drink virtually. That those maneuvers, I guess from a pilot standpoint, wouldn't that be really, like, you would really want to know, could I do it?
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I was watching. Dude was doing twists and loops and all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, Epstein Island. We could go check out Epstein Island. Roy Schwartz says.
You can fly by. I saw somebody fly by the Jesus statue in Rio de Janeiro. Looked beautiful.
Oh, how cool. I don't know. I just think that's cool. And when you do it in VR, this is going to be phenomenal. And this is, I'm not even a flight sim person, but this really has my interest peaked, you know?
So here we are, Roots. The next gen flight sim has just launched. It's spec'd far into the future. It'll be the future before we can fully get the potential of this piece of software. Uh, in addition to that, for the first time ever, we're getting VR support on it, and it's launching in concert with the HP Reverb G2, which again is the most advanced from a visual standpoint, the most advanced VR headset we've ever seen. Um, Again, moving into the next generation, signs of the times, and it's exciting. All of this stuff we're talking about here, this is all adds in and factors in to the reason why I've just got this feeling about me now, just genuine excitement for what the rest of the year has in store.
Yeah. Yeah. Slave Blaze says that it's probably a delay in X amount of minutes for the real time security issues. I would hope so. You're probably right.
Well, they ask you, they ask you when you set up the flight sim, how good is your internet? So because you got to really have good internet for the real time streaming of
Oh,
all that data.
mine's good. I don't know.
Yes, it
And
is.
you know what I'm thinking about this, Wes? I'm watching that plane, and I see a lot of confusing looking gadgets. And then I try to picture myself trying to figure out how to take off and read those gadgets. And maybe this is a lot of work, right? You have to learn all these gadgets and what they mean.
Which I'm hoping. Now I have not seen any of this yet, but I'm hoping that there is full on pilot training baked into this program. I mean, there would have to be, right?
Yeah, dude. Can you imagine, like, you learn how to fly on this, and then for like a year, and then you just go take your pilot license, and you're good to go, right? Well, I guess you need all the pilot hours. Does the virtual hours count, or Probably
That'd
not.
be cool, wouldn't it? Like if you went to get your license and they ask you how many hours that you have in it, and you go to Steam VR.
Yeah, I've spent 250 hours minimum. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. I
yeah.
don't know, and there's different types of planes as well. I don't know, man. I'm talking myself into buying this game that I might not. I mean, I don't know. I'll see. I'll
I
play
think
it.
it's part of the Microsoft Game Pass, so dollar roots.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, Overg says I can do it, so I believe in myself. Overg's. I
You
think you're
can
right.
do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I can do it.
So anyway, Microsoft, HP, tons of grumbling of the next gen. This one actually a lot closer to than even the other stuff we talked about.
Mm.
But during a Microsoft Mixed Reality Digital event last week, HP's Peter Peterson, say that HP's Peter Peterson, teased that the company may have some exciting announcements on the software side of VR soon. And what time is it, Roots?
Quote time.
Quote time, son. Quote, myself being a leader of some software teams at HP, we're not just looking at VR in its current state today. We're really starting to look at what are the other things we can do in VR as somewhere as somebody is wearing a VR headset. And so what I'll just say is we're looking towards the future, and in the near future here, we'll have some more exciting announcements about some of the new technology that we're going to be bringing forward and really starting to take advantage of how great a platform HP Reverb G2 is. So,
Wow.
Roots, all that boiled down to there is they're not just putting out a headset and getting the hell out of Dodge. They're planning on building a VR platform here, and they're planning on supporting it with software.
Wow. That's crazy. That tells you a lot, right?
Tells me that the next gen of gaming is at hand, my friend, and no bigger there's no bigger indicator of that to the PC gamer than the fact that Nvidia has announced a press conference in less than 2 weeks from now. So we are talking about Microsoft Flight Sim. Here we are talking about HP Reverb G2. But the fact of the matter is, if we want to really spec that thing out and take it in at its full potential, you're not going to do it without a new graphics card, right?
Oh no, for sure. So I guess Fabster says he's been playing it in a VD theater room and it's awesome. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, virtual desktop. This is something you swear by all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, dude. It does definitely. If you don't mind the lack of 3D, it definitely runs really well. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, the we have this all of a sudden this brand new need for graphics cards. The PC guys need something, right? Not just from VR, but just PC gamers in general. They're all kind of feeling left behind here by all this console talk. Well, never fear, friends. NVIDIA coming to the rescue. Let's not forget, Roots, that all these new graphics cards and prices and stuff, this is all rumors. We have nothing confirmed yet, but the fact that NVIDIA has announced that its press conference is coming in just a couple of weeks' time, conveniently right before all of the console stuff's about to break, right? I think that it's pretty indicative that most of the rumors are probably true, and that this press conference is going to be the event where NVIDIA will finally announce the release of its 3000 series graphics cards.
Yeah, and we'll know a little bit more. We'll know if we need to be pissed or if we should be excited, right? And I don't know, man. Do you think the 3080 Ti is going? If you had that in your computer, you could run that G2 with that flight sim really easily, or?
Yeah, I think with the 3090 that it's a certainty, and the 80 isn't the top of the line anymore if the rumors are correct. It's 3090 this time around. That $1,500 behemoth, I think, is going to have something like 24 gigabytes of GDR6 or VRAM in it.
Yeah,
Just absolutely nuts what they're building there.
that's insane.
It's a 3 slot graphics card, Roots. It takes up 3 PCI slots.
Oh my, wow. Well, I'll
It's
tell
like
you what.
this thick.
I mean, that's awesome. It's going to be super, super crazy what it can push. So I probably won't have one. But.
Yeah, I don't care what it can do, dude. I don't care what it can do. It doesn't matter. I'm not paying $1,500 for a graphics card. End of story.
And his wife is standing in the other room saying he
No,
is
no.
not spending $1,500.
No, dude, I'm throwing down 1,500 to 2 Gs on other shit. That ain't happening though.
Jim All says his 2080 Ti takes up 3 slots.
Yeah, I've got a pretty big one, but I don't think it takes up 3 slots. Maybe it does. I've got the FTW3 EVGA 1080 Ti, but I thought it was just a dual slot thing. Anyway, you can see pictures of it. Go check out the Linus Tech Tips channel. They have a little conversation about it. This is a thick thing. It's not like it looks like 2 of my 1080 Ti, to be quite honest. It's a big, thick deal.
Radio Runt says he's paying the $1,500. He's getting it. He's getting it now, and I'm happy for you, bro. And you got the free game, and your life is good.
Yeah, I mean, he saved all that, well, $25, right?
Yeah, that's why he was gonna.
Why not get a graphics card?
He wasn't gonna get the $1,500 one, but he saved the game now. He's got it.
Anyway, friends, it's everywhere you look. I mean, we've got console ad campaigns starting. We've got the console people telling us it's going to be coming out shortly. We've got Facebook making all sorts of moves, like breakneck speed at Facebook. We have Apple throwing their hat into the ring. We have Microsoft Flight Sim and Microsoft headsets, and we have new graphics cards. And all of this is happening right now. Roots OC6, the kind of catchphrase of the year last year at OC6 was "the time is now." Their message was it's happening right now. And only now can us consumers and enthusiasts really start to see what they're talking about. And I agree. I think the time is now.
It's now. It's happening. If you're not in VR, get in it now. That's what I say.
Get on board, folks. The VR train is taking off.
Okay. Fabster says the Xbox Game Pass makes the Flight Sim a no-brainer, because that was my question. Should I get it? So maybe I just get the Game Pass and then I check it out, right, for a month, and if I like it, I keep it. So.
Yeah, there you go. That's the whole thing about Microsoft. They don't care about making money, man. They're just going to give you the games. You don't even have to buy the console to play them. You can play them on PC. You can play them on the last gen console. You don't need a new console, and you don't have to buy the games. Dude, just give us $1 and you can play the games.
Yeah, and you can play Sea of Thieves. Oh, that's a win-win.
There you go. You can play Minecraft. Go to Roots' Realm.
Yeah, dude, go to Roots' Realm. I just invited my my son and my nephew. I'm getting a group of people that can build stuff there. It's always open.
Open 24/7, Roots' Realm.
Yep.
Anyway, that's going to wrap up the Monday show for this week on this late Tuesday edition. Actually, it's technically Wednesday now where I'm at. So about time to wrap it up, about time to call it a show. Those of you new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell to stay up with all of our content. If you like the video, you know what to do. Do this thing right here. And yeah, what else? We already talked about the Discord, so there we go. I guess with that said, friends, we'd like to thank you once again for watching. And for Roots, I'm Wes. We'll see you tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye.